At what point on a projectile's trajectory its speed is minimum? If a stone is thrown at an angle of v naught at an angle of, with the speed of v naught at an angle of theta naught with respect to horizontal, so find the velocity of stone when its line of motion makes an angle of theta with respect to horizontal. See ma? So what he is saying initially body is thrown with how much velocity? It is thrown with a speed of v naught at what angle ma? At an angle of theta naught. That's all no? It means speed of the projectile, initial speed is v naught ma, and how much initial angle it is making with respect to horizontal? It is making an angle of theta naught. Clear no? Then we know that it traces a parabolic path like this. Okay. So the first question is, its speed will be minimum at what point? Speed will be very, very, very less at which point? Cheppandi. Speed takkuga ekkada untundi? Maximum height. How can you say? 1 minute. Sima, for example, if you take this parabolic path, if you take velocity at any point, for example, if you take velocity here, so it will have horizontal component of velocity and you will have vertical component of velocity also. Therefore, what is the total velocity? Total velocity will be this much. Are you able to understand? Similarly, if you take velocity here, horizontal velocity is in this direction and vertical velocity is in this direction. So total velocity will be this much. Clear now? So at any point, total velocity is the vector sum of velocity along x-axis, velocity along y-axis. This is what kind of addition we are taking? Parallelogram rule of addition. Okay, ma? But only at the maximum height. At h max, body will have which velocity? It will have only velocity along x-axis. Velocity along y-axis is absent. No? So therefore here velocity will be definitely minimum. Okay, ma? Because at any point, velocity is the vector sum of velocity along x-axis and velocity along y-axis. But only at the maximum height, velocity is only because of one velocity. And what is that velocity? Horizontal component of velocity. So definitely at the maximum height, velocity will be minimum. So that is my answer for the first question. Clear, Nama? And what is the next question he is asking? Find the velocity of the stone when its line of motion makes an angle of theta with respect to horizontal. It means I have thrown at a velocity of v naught, Nama. For example, let us consider somewhere it has reached up to here. Okay, ma? Here let velocity of the particle is v. And with respect to horizontal, it is making how much angle? It is making an angle of theta. Okay? Initial velocity is v naught. Initial angle is theta naught. But after some time, its velocity will change, no? So let that velocity be v. Are you able to understand? And it is making how much angle with respect to horizontal? Theta angle. Then this v value you are supposed to calculate. How can I find? Sima, always answer should be in terms of given parameters only. No? What are the given parameters? V naught is given, theta naught is given, theta is given. Only these are the values which are given. So your answer also should be in terms of these given parameters only. And you are supposed to find out this v value. Square root of? But time is not given. No?
Then v is equal to root of vx square plus v by square.
But he is asking final velocity. No?
Vx is instant velocity, v by final velocity.
Height is not given. To use v square minus u square is equal to a height, is it given? No. Then how can I do? Sima, very simple. So this initial velocity v naught, initial velocity is v naught only, no? This initial velocity v naught, I can split into two components, no? Clear, no? How much angle it is making initially? Theta naught angle. So this is v naught cos theta naught and this is v naught sin theta naught. Any doubt up to here? Initial velocity I have split into two components. One velocity along x-axis, one velocity along y-axis. Now after some time it has covered, it is making an angle of theta and final velocity is v normal. Now you take that velocity. So that velocity v also I can split into two components normal. How much angle it is making? Theta. So again you split this one into two components, v cos theta, v sin theta. Are you able to understand? So what we have studied about horizontal velocity, we studied that horizontal velocity will never change, no? Horizontal velocity will never change in the case of projectile. So definitely I can say that v naught cos theta naught and v cos theta, they are equal, no? Can't I say? What is this velocity? Horizontal component of velocity. What is this velocity? Horizontal. Both of them, they should be equal. That's all, equate them. So where shall I equate? I will equate here. Okay, ma? So therefore, v naught cos theta naught and v cos theta, exactly they are equal. Okay. So therefore, what is v value? V value is v naught cos theta naught divided by cos theta. That's all. Now all the parameters, they are given in the equation only, no? All of them they are given, no? V naught given, theta naught given, theta is also given. So your final answer should be present in terms of given parameters only. మీకు ఇష్టం వచ్చిన parameters ఉండకూడదు అక్కడ. Are you able to understand, ma? So therefore, by using which logic we have done this problem? Horizontal velocity of projectile will never change. That's all. Based on that logic, we have done this one. Very simple. Clear? Come on, make a note. So a particle is given a velocity of 3 meters per second along positive x-axis and a constant acceleration of 4 meters per second square along positive y-axis. Clear? Then we are supposed to find out the displacement of the particle in 2 seconds, and similarly we are supposed to find out the equation of trajectory. That is the given question, no? Sima, consider this is a particle. So along x-axis what we are doing? Along x-axis we are giving a velocity of 3 meters per second. That is the data, no? Then along y-axis what he is giving? Along y-axis he is giving an acceleration of 4 meters per second square. Clear, no? It means along y-axis, so this is y-axis number. So here it is accelerated, and what is the acceleration? 4 meters per second square. It means along x-axis there is no acceleration. Along x-axis acceleration is 0. That is the meaning of this one, no? Along this direction body is not accelerated. It is just given a constant velocity of 3 meters per second. But along y-axis initial velocity is not present. Only acceleration is present. What is the initial velocity along y-axis? Initial velocity along y-axis is 0 meters per second. That is the given condition. Then what he is asking, what is the displacement in 2 seconds? Okay. So what I will do, first I will calculate a displacement along x-axis. Then I will calculate displacement along y-axis. Then you take the vector sum of both of them. That is my answer. Clear now? So how can I calculate displacement along x-axis? Which equation I can use, ma? Displacement is equal to velocity into time. Why I am using this relation? Velocity is a constant. Along x-axis, velocity is a constant. No? Acceleration is 0. So if acceleration is 0, it is what kind of motion? Uniform motion. Uniform motion means how many equations I have? Only one equation. What is that equation? Displacement is equal to velocity into time. So instead of s, I will write x. Clear, number? And what is the velocity given? 3. After how many seconds he is asking? 2 seconds. So 2. So it is 6 meters. So displacement along x-axis is 6 meters. Similarly, how can I calculate a displacement along y-axis? Along y-axis, this is what kind of motion? Non-uniform, accelerated motion. No? Accelerated acceleration is there, no? 4 meters per second square. So for accelerated motion, how many equations we have? 4 equations. So which equation shall I use? I will use the relation. S is equal to ut plus half at square. Clear, ma? So instead of s, I will write y. Initial velocity 0. Along which axis? Along y-axis, initial velocity is 0. Half acceleration 4. Time taken 2 square. So 2 get square get cancelled. So y is equals to 8 meter. Clear now? So displacement along x-axis is 6 meter, displacement along y-axis is 8 meters. So therefore, what is the meaning of this one? So one vector is equals to 6 meter and another vector is equal to 8 meter. This is the condition. No? It means in 2 seconds, body is traveling 6 meters along x-axis, clear nama? 8 meters along y-axis. So definitely it is two-dimensional motion nama? Body is traveling along x-axis also, it is traveling along y-axis also, definitely it is a two-dimensional motion. Clear? Now total displacement, how can I calculate? So two vectors are joined tail to tail. No? Tail to tail means what kind of addition? Parallelogram rule of addition. So just duplicate the vectors. Clear nama? So this is my resultant. Clear? So therefore, if this is 8, this one also will be 8 only. That is how I duplicate the vectors. No? Clear nama? So therefore, resultant, how can I calculate? This is a right angle triangle. So r is equal to square root of 6 square plus 8 square. So root 100 is equals to 10 meters. So what is the final displacement of the particle? Final displacement is 10 meters. Understood? No? Okay. So one equation I have calculated. Now what I am supposed to calculate? I am supposed to calculate trajectory followed by the particle. Clear? No? See, in the same condition, he may ask angle also. So find out the angle in which body has displaced. Angle, how can I calculate? Can you say? Cos theta, or you better take tan theta. Opposite side and adjacent side both are present. No? So you take this angle theta. So in this right angle triangle, ratio of opposite to adjacent is called tan theta. So you can take tan theta also. Clear? No? So therefore, angle is tan theta, which is equals to 8 by 6. 8 by 6. 4 by 3. So tan theta is 4 by 3 for which angle? Tan 53 degrees. Tan 53 is 4 by 3. Clear number? So tan 53 degrees is 4 by 3. So therefore, particle is making how much angle? It is making an angle of 53 degrees with respect to horizontal. After how much time? After a time of 2 seconds. Understood? No? Okay. So make a note up to here, then we will see how we can calculate equation of trajectory. Okay? Come on. Now can you say, how can I calculate equation of trajectory? Come on. See, first of all, what is meant by equation of trajectory? It is a relation between x and y only, no? But what should be absent? Time taken should be absent. Time should be absent, no? So relation between just x and y is called as equation of trajectory. Okay? So along x-axis, what is the equation I can write? I can write a displacement is equal to velocity into time. So x is equals to initial velocity is how much along x-axis? 3. So 3 into time taken is t. So let it be first equation. So this is the equation along x-axis number. Clear no? How x is varying with respect to t. That is the equation along x-axis. Similarly, I will write equation along y-axis. Along y-axis, which equation I can use? I can use the relation s is equal to ut plus half at squared. Same equations. Clear no? So instead of s, I can write y. What is the initial velocity along y-axis? 0. There is no initial velocity. So half g t square. Time taken is t square. Clear number? So this is my first equation and this is my second equation. So from both of them, how can I remove t? Just I have to remove t from both of them, no? How can I remove t? Just take here t is equals to x by 3, no? Take this 3 t and substitute here. Then you will get a relation between x and y. That's all. G, you just keep it as g only. Okay, ma? Now substitute and get the values. So, from first equation, from equation number 1, t is equals to x by 3. So take this and substitute in the second equation. So y is equals to half into g into, instead of t what I can write? I can write x by 3 whole square. Clear number? So y is equals to half g x square divided by 9. So it is g x square divided by 8. Clear number? So y is equals to gx square divided by 80. So this is my equation of trajectory. That's all. Okay. And this is just looking like equation of a parabola. Equation of a parabola. So graph will be like this. So this will be the approximate shape of the graph. Are you able to understand, ma? That's it. So particle is moving in the xy plane such that its coordinates are given by, so 10 root t along x-axis and y is equals to 10t minus t square along y-axis. Then find the initial velocity of the particle. Clear, ma? So how x value and y value are changing? It means what is the position of the particle along x-axis and position of the particle along y-axis. Positions are given. It means the displacement equations are given. Clear, number? So you are supposed to find out initial velocity. What is meant by initial velocity? Initial velocity means it is the velocity when time is equal to 0. That is called as initial velocity, number. When time is 0, that is called as initial velocity. Okay. It means first of all I have to calculate velocity equations. No? How can I calculate velocity equations? Velocity along x-axis. How can I calculate? dx by dt. Differentiation of displacement with respect to time is nothing but velocity. No? Already we studied. No? So differentiation of displacement with respect to time is nothing but instantaneous velocity. Clear? So therefore differentiate this one. So d by dt of, clear, x value. X value is how much? 10 root 3 into t. Clear? So 10 root 3 is a constant. No? Take it out of differentiation. So 10 root 3. Now what are the terms which are present? dt divided by dt. So dt get cancelled. No? So what is the answer I got? 10 root 3. So this is the velocity of the particle along x-axis. Fine. Similarly calculate velocity of the particle along y-axis. So vy is equals to dy by dt. Differentiation of displacement again with respect to time. Clear? So therefore d by dt of, what is y value? 10t minus t square. Okay, ma? So differentiation of 10t, how much? 10. Differentiation of t square, 2t. That's all. That's all. This is my equation for differentiation rules. You know, no, ma? So d by dx of x power n is how much? N into x power n minus 1. This is the rule. And if there is any constant, d by dx of k x power n, then k you should take out of the differentiation. No? So k into again differentiation of x power n is n into x power n minus 1. These are the rules which we have to follow. Clear? Now see, ma, so this is the velocity equation along x-axis and this is the velocity equation along y-axis. Clear? But what he is asking initial velocity. What is meant by initial velocity? 20, maybe. So initial velocity means when you started observation. When you started observation, what will be the time? Time will be 0. Clear now? So therefore, at t is equal to 0, this is called as initial time. Clear now? See, in velocity along x-axis, there is no time term, no? So no problem. So Vx is how much? It is 10 root 3. That's all. No? Similarly, at time is equal to 0, Vy value is how much? 10 minus 2 into 0, because I have t, no? T value I have to substitute 0. Clear? So therefore, what is the answer I got? 10. Okay. So therefore, velocity along x-axis is 10 root 3 and velocity along y-axis is how much? It is 10. Therefore, what is the total velocity, ma? First of all, I will write in the form of velocity equation. So V dash is equals to initial velocity, or just I will find out magnitude, that is better. Okay, ma? So V, if this is 10, this is also 10 only, no? In parallelogram rule of addition. So therefore, what is my initial velocity? Let us call it as U, initial velocity. U is equals to square root of 10 square plus 10 root 3 whole square. Okay, ma? So it is root 100 plus 100 into 3, 300. So root 400 is 20 meter per second. That is the answer. Fine? That's all. Okay, ma? So, position vector, I have differentiated this one, I got velocity vector. Then I have used dot product to find out angle between the two vectors. Dot product, when it has become 0, it means angle between the vectors is 90 degrees. Okay, ma? So already we studied, no, ma? So dot product of perpendicular vectors is how much? 0. Clear? Dot product of perpendicular vectors is also always 0. Cross product of parallel vectors is always 0. If two vectors are parallel, then which product will be 0? Cross product will be 0. Clear? Okay. So up to here it is fine. Now what he is asking us to find out equation of trajectory. Now anybody, can you say, how can I calculate equation of trajectory? Can you see? Equation of trajectory, how can I calculate? What is meant by equation of trajectory? Relation between x and y. Time should be absent, no? Time should not be present. So how can I do? See, if you look at the equation, very easily you can understand what to do. Cos omega t, sin omega t. Sin squared theta plus cos squared theta. That's all. Clear, no? So therefore, can I write, this is nothing but x, no, ma? So x is equals to k cos omega t. And what is y? Y is nothing but k sin omega t. Clear, no? So therefore, cos omega t is nothing but x by k. That's all, no, ma? And sin omega t is how much? Y by k. Clear? And we know that sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. So therefore what I can do, so cos square omega t plus sin square omega t is nothing but x square by k square plus y square by k square, which is equal to 1. So this is my equation of trajectory. That's all. Very simple. Clear, number? So I got relation between x and y, no? Is there any time term? No. That is my answer. So this is my equation of trajectory. Or simply you can write x square plus y square is equal to k square. You can write like this also. Fine? That's all. h by g na? కాదనుకుంటాను. Okay. Sima, let us see what is the given question. So a grasshopper can jump up to a height of h. Clear, ma? Then find the maximum distance which it can jump along the horizontal ground. Okay. So grasshopper can jump to a height of h means what? It is the maximum height which grasshopper can jump, no, ma? So beyond h it cannot jump. That is the meaning of this one, no? So therefore what I can write? What is the equation to calculate h max, ma? U square sin square theta divided by 2g. So this is the equation to calculate maximum height reached by the projectile. And this maximum height will become maximum in which condition? When sin theta is nothing but clear, ma? Sima. So h max will become u square sin square theta by 2g. So h max will become maximum only when sin squared theta will become maximum, no? Clear, no? So initial velocity is a constant, g value is a constant, only sin theta is a variable. So when sin theta becomes maximum, then height also will become maximum. And what is the maximum value of sin theta? It is plus 1. 1 square is also 1, no? And it is possible only when sin 90 is equal to 1. That's all, no? So therefore, what is the angle in which grasshopper is jumping? Angle in which grasshopper jumping is 90 degrees. It means it is jumping vertically upwards. That is the meaning of this one, number. So when grasshopper jumps vertically at an angle of 90 degrees to the ground, then the height reached by the grasshopper will be maximum. Clear? So therefore what is h max I got here? So h max is equals to u square divided by 2g. Are you able to understand, Nama? And what is the height jumped by the grasshopper, ma? It is h. H is equals to u square divided by 2g. This is the relation which I get. Clear? So therefore what is the initial velocity? Initial velocity is root 2gh. So therefore grasshopper should have jumped with how much initial velocity? Grasshopper should have jumped with an initial velocity of root 2gh. That's all. Okay. Now, but this is not the question which he is asking now. What is the question he is asking? Find the maximum distance which it can jump on the ground. It means, what is meant by maximum horizontal distance? It is nothing but range, no? Clear, Nama? It is nothing but range. Sima, the velocity with which a grasshopper can jump, that velocity can never change, no? Because grasshopper can always jump with a same maximum velocity. Because its energy is limited, no? So its maximum velocity always remains constant. So therefore, grasshopper can jump with how much initial velocity? It can jump with the initial velocity of root 2gh only. Are you able to understand? Now he is asking us to find out maximum range or max. Clear? So what is the equation for range of a projectile? R is equals to u square sine 2 theta divided by, u square sine 2 theta divided by g. This is the equation for range, no? This is the equation for range, no? Range will become maximum in which condition? Again, when sine 2 theta is maximum. Sine 2 theta maximum value 1. So sine 2 theta is 1, then 2 theta will become 90 degrees, no? Therefore theta value 45 degrees. So already we studied that range will be maximum when I throw the body at an angle of 45 degrees. Already we discussed this one, no? Clear, number? So let us see here once again. So R will become R max in which condition? When sine 2 theta is maximum and maximum value of any sine function is plus 1. Clear, number? And we know that sine 90 is also how much? It is also 1. Therefore if you compare both of them, 2 theta is nothing but 90 degrees, no? Therefore theta is equal to 45 degrees. Understood, number? Therefore this grasshopper should jump at what angle initially? It should jump at an initial angle of 45 degrees. Clear, number? Then the range reached by the grasshopper will be maximum. Is it clear? Okay. And what is the equation for maximum range? R will become R max in which condition? When sine 2 theta will become 1, no? Clear, no? When sine 2 theta will become 1, then I am left with only u square by g. And initial velocity already I have calculated, no? Root 2g. Just substitute there. Therefore it is root 2gh, clear, ma? Whole square divided by g. Okay. So therefore how much it is? Therefore, clear, ma? It is 2gh divided by g. So g and g gets cancelled. So my answer is 2h. Okay. So therefore the maximum horizontal distance which the grasshopper can cover is 2h. So have you understood how we are doing? First we have taken the equation of h max. Height will be maximum only when theta is 90 degrees. From that we have calculated grasshopper has jumped with how much velocity? It can jump with a maximum velocity of root 2gh. Then we are taking equation for range. Range can become maximum in which condition? Again when 2 theta becomes 1. Sin 2 theta becomes 1. And we know sin 90 is 1. So therefore grasshopper should jump at what angle? At 45 degrees for range to be maximum. Clear, no? And maximum range is u square by 2, g. U already we have calculated, no? So we have substituted and we got the answer. Okay, ma? So let us see this question. So at what angle should a projectile be thrown such that the horizontal range of the projectile will be equal to half of its maximum value? Clear, number? So therefore theta value we are supposed to find out, and what is that condition given such that? So range of the projectile is equals to half of R max. This is the condition which is given now. So range will be maximum in which condition? Only if I throw body at an angle of 45 degrees. This already we know, no? If I throw body at an angle of 45 degrees, then only range will be maximum. But I have to throw projectile at such an angle such that the range which I get, it should be only half of the maximum range. So that angle I want to calculate. Clear, no? So therefore let us see. So therefore what is the equation for range? u square sine 2 theta divided by g is equal to half of R max. What is the equation for R max? Range will become maximum only when sine 2 theta becomes maximum number. So maximum range is u square by g. Clear now? So therefore it is u square divided by g. This is my equation. So u square by g get cancelled. So sine 2 theta is equals to 1 by 2. Sine 2 theta is 1 by 2 for which angle? Sine 30 is how much? Sine 30 is 1 by 2. No? So therefore 2 theta is equal to 30 degrees. So therefore theta 15 degrees. Understood? So therefore if I throw the body at an angle of 15 degrees, then the range obtained will be half of maximum range. That is, if I throw the projectile at 45 degrees, then the range which I throw at an angle of 15 degrees, that will be half. Understood? No? Okay. Now can I say that theta is equals to 15 is also correct, 75 is also correct? No? Theta is 15 is also correct, 75 is also correct. How can you say? Because already we discussed that range will be same for theta as well as 90 minus theta also. Clear nama? So if you throw the body at 15 degrees or 75 degrees, range remains to be same. Already we have drawn diagrams previously. Nama? For example, this is the range of the projectile. Clear no? If I throw the body at 15 degrees or if I throw the body at 75 degrees, range will be same. Clear no? So therefore I will get two answers. Either you can throw at 15 or you can throw at 75. Clear now? That is my answer. Very simple question. Seema. So let us see what is the given question initially. Then we will try to understand how to do this problem. Seema. So two particles A and B are projected from the same point in different directions in such a manner that vertical components of their velocities are equal. Clear now? So this is particle A and this is particle B. So they are thrown at what angles? Theta A and theta B. And we don't have any idea about their velocities, which means velocities are not given. So you are not supposed to derive the answer in terms of VA and VB. They are unknown quantities. Are you able to understand? So then what is the condition he gave here? Vertical components of their velocities are same. That's the data given. No? Then you are supposed to find out the ratio of the ranges. Clear? So let us suppose their velocities are VA and VB, for example. Clear number? But in the final answer, VA and VB should not be present. Okay? So let us. So therefore, let us take the first velocity. This is VA number. It is thrown at what angle? It is thrown at an angle of theta A. Clear no? Then I can split this one into two components number. So VA cos theta A and this is VA sin theta A. Can I split like this? We know how to split velocity vectors into components number. If you don't know this one, then you better leave reading physics. Clear? Splitting రాకపోతే మీరు ఫిజిక్స్ చదివే లాభం లేదు. అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? So this is how I split vectors into two components. Which vector I am splitting? Initial velocity of particle A. I have split into two components. Next you take second velocity. Which is the second velocity? This is the given velocity VB number. VB is not given. Just I am taking it to be VA and VB. Clear number? What is this angle? This angle is theta B. Now again you split this one into two components. So VB cos theta B. Chappan త్వరగా. VB sin theta B. Adjacent side is always in terms of cos theta. Opposite side is always in terms of sin theta. Up to here it is clear now? Now what is the condition he gave? Condition is that vertical components of their velocities are equal. Okay. Now can you say which is the vertical component here and which is the vertical component here? VA sin theta A is the vertical component of this velocity. VB sin theta B is the vertical component of this velocity. That's all now. It means with the help of VA sin theta A, body is moving upwards. And with the help of VB sin theta B, second body is moving upwards. So he gave that these two velocities, they are equal. So just equate them. First of all, let us equate and see what I will get. So VA sin theta A is equals to VB sin theta B. This is the condition which I got now. Clear now? So therefore VA and VB I don't know. So therefore what I will do, VA divided by VB is equals to I will write sin theta B divided by sin theta A. So let it be my first equation. Okay ma? This is my equation number 1. Okay. But what he is asking, this is not what he is asking, no, he is asking ratio of ranges, range equations he is asking. Okay. So how can I calculate a range equation, ma? So range of stone A divided by range of a stone B. So what is the equation to calculate a range? So u square sine 2 theta divided by g. That is the equation of range, no? So therefore u square means what here? Va square sine 2 theta A divided by g. Can I write like this? U square sine 2 theta divided by g. This is the equation for range. Similarly, I will write equation of range for second body. How I can write? Vb square again a sine 2 theta b divided by g. Are you able to understand? Va by Vb, they are unknown quantities, no, ma? And Va by Vb ratio already I have calculated, no? So substitute there. Clear, ma? Substitute it and see what is the answer you will get. That is my answer. Clear? Come on. Now try to calculate from here onwards. So Va divided by Vb. So sin theta b divided by sin theta a whole square multiplied by, and here a g and a g I can cancel. Clear, no, ma? Sin 2 theta can be written as 2 sin theta a cos theta a divided by sin 2 theta b can be written as 2 sin theta b cos theta b. I can write like this. Clear, no, ma? So therefore sin theta b and 1 square will get cancelled, sin theta a and 1 square will get cancelled. So this one and the square will get cancelled. So now what are the values I am left with? I am left with 2 and 2 also will get cancelled. Clear, no, ma? So sin theta b by cos theta b is nothing but tan theta b, and cos theta a divided by sin theta is a cot theta a. So 1 by cot is nothing but tan. So tan theta a. So this is my answer. Clear, ma? So this is my equation to calculate the ratio of ranges. So Ra divided by Rb is how much? Tan theta b divided by tan theta a. And this mathematical calculation you have to understand by yourself. See, ma, this is the given question. So 4 cannonballs, 1, 2, 3, 4 are fired from the level ground. It means from the horizontal ground only 4 cannonballs are fired like this. Clear, ma? So this is the path traced by first one, path traced by second one, and path traced by third one, and this is the path traced by fourth one. Are you able to understand, ma? So then some conditions also he is giving. One is fired at what angle? First one is fired at an angle of 60 degrees. Clear, no, ma? So 2 and 3 are fired at what angle, ma? 2, 3 they are fired at 45 degrees, and fourth one it is fired at an angle of 30 degrees. This is the given conditions. So all the angles are given, no? So 1 at an angle of 60, 2, 3 at an angle of 45, 4 at an angle of 60 degrees. Then the question is, which ball has the largest initial speed? Out of these 4 balls, which ball has the highest initial speed? That is what I am supposed to calculate. Are you able to understand, ma? So how we can do this calculation? We will do one thing, ma. See here, if you take 2 and 4, so both of them they have same range, no? Are you able to understand, ma? This is the path traced by second cannonball, and this is the path traced by fourth cannonball. Clear? For both of them, what is same? Range is same. Are you able to understand, ma? And they are thrown at what angles? 2 is thrown at an angle of 45 degrees, 4 is thrown at an angle of 30 degrees. Are you able to understand, ma? So what they are saying is that range can be maximum for a given velocity only when angle is 45 degrees, no? Only when angle is 45 degrees, range will be maximum. So 2 is definitely thrown at an angle of 45 degrees, so it has reached the maximum range. But 4 is also able to reach the same range, no? Even though angle is only 30 degrees, but still it is able to reach the same range. It means definitely its initial velocity should have been greater. So angle 45 degrees untene range maximum untundi oka particular velocity. 30 degrees ఉన్నప్పుడు డెఫినెట్ గా రేంజ్ తక్కువ ఉంటుంది అంటే వెలాసిటీ తీసుకుంటే. బట్ ఫోర్త్ బాడీ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో రీచింగ్ సేమ్ రేంజ్, నో? ఇట్ మీన్స్ డెఫినెట్లీ వెలాసిటీ ఆఫ్ fourth cannonball should have been greater than velocity of second cannonball. Are you able to understand? By common sense we are analyzing like this. Now we will try to understand this one with the help of equations. Clear? See here. So first which two I will compare? I will compare 2, 4. 2, 4. These two I will compare. Clear ma? So for 2 comma 4, which is same? Range is same, no? So therefore I will write range of second one is equal to range of fourth one. Clear ma? What is the formula for range? So u square sine 2 theta divided by g is equals to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. These are the equations for range, no ma? So this is the initial velocity of stone number 2, this is the initial velocity of stone number 4. And 2 is thrown at what angle? 3 is thrown at an angle of 45 degrees. So 2 into 45. Clear, no? And 4 is thrown at what angle? 4 is thrown at an angle of 30 degrees. Are you able to understand? So g and g will get cancelled. So u2 square multiplied by sine 90 value is 1. So this is equals to u4 square multiplied by sine 60 value is root 3 divided by 2. Are you able to understand, ma? Oh, 1 minute. Okay, ma? So this is the ratio which I got, no ma? So 1 is greater than root 3 by 2 or less than root 3 by 2? 1 greater than root 3 by 2 or less than root 3 by 2? Definitely greater than root 3 by 2, no ma? So if 1 is greater, definitely u2 should have been lesser. That's all, no? Because product of these two should be equal to product of these two. If one value is bigger, it means other value should be smaller. Understandable, no? For example, if I write 3 into 2 is equals to 2 into 3, can I write like this? If 2 is if 2 is lesser, 3 should be greater. Same concept here also. 1 is greater than the root 3 by 2, no? So definitely u2 should have been lesser than u4. So one answer I got, no ma? So if I am comparing two velocities, one answer which I got is, definitely I can say that u4 should have been greater than u2. Okay? One answer I got when I have compared 2 and 4. Clear, ma? Then let us see which I can compare. Which one shall I compare now? So 2 and 3, they are thrown at 45 degrees, no ma? 2 and 3, they are thrown at 45 degrees. So even though 2 and 3 as they are thrown at 45 degrees, range of 3 is very less, range of 2 is very large. Angles are same, g values are same, but still is range is greater. It is possible in which condition? ఈ రెండు త్రో చేసిన యాంగిల్ సేమ్, రెండు 45 degrees దానే త్రో చేసాం కదా. 2 and 3 are thrown at same angle of 45 degrees. But ranges are the same. So range of 3 is only up to here, but range of 4 is up to here. Range of 2 is up to here. Angles are same, but ranges are different. It is possible in which condition? Only when velocity of one particle is greater than velocity of another particle. So therefore definitely I can say velocity of second particle should have been greater than velocity of third particle. Are you able to understand? Let us compare. See, ma. Now I will take which comparisons? I will take comparison 2 and 3. So why I am taking only 2 and 3, ma? Now out of u4 and u2, hey, chal, kya karte hain tumhe? Okay, ma? So out of u4 and u2, definitely I got u4 is a bigger value. Clear, no? But 2 is greater than 3 or less than 3, still I don't know. So that is why I am comparing 2 and 3. How I am able to compare? Because what is same for them? Initial velocity is same for them, no ma? Angle is same for both of them. Where it is? Angle is same for both of them. Clear, no ma? So therefore, range of 2 is greater than range of 3. When compared to range of 3, range of 2 is greater. Are you able to see in the figure? But which is same here? Thetas are same, no? So theta 2 and theta 3, they are same. But ranges are equal. It is possible in which condition? Only when initial velocity of 2 is greater than initial velocity of 3. Understandable, no? Ranges are not same, but angles are same. It means definitely initial velocity of particle number 2 should have been greater than initial velocity of particle number 3. Then only range will be greater, no? For same angle. Clear? Or if you want to do the calculation, you can do. How I can do? So what is the equation for range, ma? So u square sine 2 theta by g is greater than u square sine 2 theta divided by g. So this is particle number 2, this is particle number 3. Angles are same, no? So sine 2 theta gets cancelled, g and g also will get cancelled. So definitely I can say u2 square is greater than u3 square. So therefore what I understand, u2 is greater than u3. Okay. Now u2 is greater than u4 is greater than u2 and u2 is greater than u3. So you need not consider u3 because u3 cannot be highest. No? Are you able to understand? No? So I have compared which and which, 2 and 4. I have compared 2 and 3. Now I don't know what about 1 no? Okay. So 1 how can I compare? Still I have not done any calculation about 1. So 1 is thrown at what angle, ma? 60 degrees. And 2 and 3 they are thrown at an angle of 45 degrees. So I will do one thing, ma. So maximum height of 1 and maximum height of 2 they are equal. How I am comparing? I am comparing by the given data in the question itself. Okay. Now see the height reached by particle number 1. क्लास चलता है, तू मारना. Okay. Sima. So maximum height reached by particle number 1 and maximum height reached by particle number 2 they are equal. Okay. So write equation. So why I am doing 1 and 2? Because I want a comparison between 1 and 2. No? Are you able to understand? No? So therefore let us see. So if 1 is greater than 2, if 1 is greater than 2, then again I have to compare 4 and 1. Because up to now which is the maximum value? Up to now 4. But I don't know about 1. So I am comparing 1 and 2. Why I am comparing 1 and 2 only? Because their heights are equal. So therefore I can compare them. Are you able to understand? So therefore I will compare which one and which one, ma? I will compare 1 and 2. Clear? So what is the equation for maximum height, ma? So it is u square sine 2 theta divided by g. Sorry, u square sine square theta divided by 2g. So u square sine square theta divided by 2g. So 2g and 2g will get cancelled. Clear? Now substitute their angles. 1 is thrown at which angle? 60 degrees. And 2 is thrown at which angle? 45 degrees. Sine 60 is greater or sine 45 is greater? Sine 60 is greater. So if sine 60 is greater, definitely u1 should be lesser. That's all, no? Because both of them they are equal, no? Arthamainda? Kali. Malli chestan chudandi. So u1 square multiplied by, it is thrown at what angle? Sine 60 whole square. That's all, no, ma? And u2, we are comparing 1 and 2 only, no? U2 square multiplied by, it is thrown at what angle? 45 degrees. So sine 45 whole square. Clear, no, ma? Sine 60 is greater or sine 45 is greater? Sine 60 is greater. If sine 60 is greater, u1 is greater or u2 is greater? u2 is greater. Because we are multiplying both of them. No? If one value is bigger, another value should be smaller because both of them they are equal. Clear? So definitely I can say that as sine 60 is greater than sine 45, u2 should have been greater than u1. Okay? u2 is greater than u1, so you need not consider u1. u2 is greater than u3, you need not consider u3. Clear, no? u4 is greater than u2, so my answer is u4. So this is the particle which is having maximum velocity, that's all. Any idea? Sima. So a bullet with a muzzle velocity 100 meter per second is to be shot at a target 30 meter away in the same horizontal line. Clear, ma? So it means that, for example, here there is one target, ma, and what is the distance of this target? Distance of this target is 30 meter. That's the given data, no? So I have to fire a bullet. So this is the bullet, and what is its muzzle velocity? Muzzle velocity means what? The initial velocity of the bullet is called as muzzle velocity. Clear, Nama? So we are firing this bullet with a muzzle velocity of 100 meter per second. Clear, Nama? Then what happens? This bullet goes and strikes the target like this, Nama. Question is that So we have to aim at a particular angle, no? So this is the direction in which I am aiming my gun. So this is the height above the target. Clear? So this height, if it is h, this height we are supposed to calculate. Have you understood the question, ma? So if I fire at this angle, bullet cannot travel in a straight line like this, no? Bullet will travel in a parabolic path and it will hit the target. But definitely I have to aim my gun in this direction. Are you able to understand, ma? I have to aim my gun in this direction. Are you able to understand? So above the target, at what height I have to aim my gun so that bullet goes and strikes the target. Are you able to understand? So target paina yanta paiki nenu gannuni aim cheyali. Adi question. It means this height I am supposed to calculate. Fine. Come on. Ela cheyochu. How can I do this calculation? Pythagoras theorem. How can you use Pythagoras theorem here? Okay. Clear, ma? What is this height? I don't know what is the angle also. No? If I know the angle of projection, then definitely I can use tan theta, opposite side divided by adjacent side. Clear, no, ma? This is a definitely right angle triangle. Opposite side is h. Adjacent side is 30. But what is the angle theta at which you have thrown this bullet? Height is 10. How can you say? But angle I don't know. No? I don't know hypotenuse, I don't know angle theta, I don't know opposite side. I know only this side. Then how can I do this calculation? Huh? Rama. Late gra kodadu. Can you say anybody? Sima, first of all, the initial velocity with which I have thrown, that is given, no? 100 is given. And what is this 30? Range of the projectile. So let us first try to substitute in the range equation. Then let us see first of all if I can get angle. Once I get the angle, then I can use, as you said, Pythagoras theorem I can use, no? Are you able to understand, no? So what is the equation to calculate range of a projectile? Range of a projectile, r is equals to u square sine 2 theta divided by g. This is the equation for range, number. So therefore substitute the values. So therefore what is the given range? 30. Initial velocity 100 square. Okay, ma? So sine 2 theta divided by g value is 10. Clear? So therefore do the calculation. So 30 is equals to 10,000 multiplied by sine 2 theta divided by 10. Clear, number? So 10, 10, 10, 10 get cancelled. So therefore sine 2 theta is equals to 3 by 100, which is equals to 0.03. Clear, number? So sine 2 theta, how much I got? 0.03. Okay, ma? See, ma, in this type of conditions, if you observe here, sine 2 theta 0.03, it is a very, very small value, no? 0.03 is very, very small. So for such a small values, sine theta, clear, ma, is almost equal to theta for very small values. Okay, ma? If you are taking very, very small values, then sine theta value and theta value almost they will be same. For which condition? When theta values are very, very small. Are you able to understand? And so therefore how I can write? I can write sine 2 theta, it is almost equal to 2 theta, and it is again almost equal to tan theta also. Clear? So this is one mathematical condition which you should always remember when theta is very small. Are you able to understand, ma? When theta is very small, sine theta and theta, they are numerically they are equal. Similarly, that is equal to tan theta also. Again numerically, this one and this one, they will be almost equal. Are you able to understand? So sine 2 theta, I got 0.03, no? So therefore 2 theta is also almost equal to 0.03. Are you able to understand, no? Because sine 2 theta and 2 theta, they are numerically equal, no? So I can write 2 theta is almost equal to 0.03. Therefore what is the theta value? Theta value is equals to 0.03 divided by 2. How much, ma? 0.15. Clear? Is it clear up to here? Okay. 0.15 amma? 0.015. 0.015. So that is the value which I got. Is it clear? Okay. So once I got theta value, now I can use, I can substitute in this relation what I want. I want opposite side only, no? What is the adjacent side? Adjacent side is 30. Opposite side I want to calculate. So why don't you use tan theta? Tan theta I can use in a right angle triangle. This is a right angle triangle only, no? Because this is a right angle triangle, definitely you can use tan theta. So what is tan theta? Okay. So tan theta is equals to opposite side, which is the opposite side h, which is the adjacent side is 30. Okay, ma? And already we discussed that tan theta is also almost equal to theta, no, ma? So therefore tan theta, instead of tan theta, what I can write? I can write tan 0.015 is equals to h divided by 30. So this is also very small value, no, ma? So tan theta is again almost equal to theta only. So therefore I will write 0.015 is equals to h divided by 30. So therefore what is h value? 30 into 0.015. So 3 into 0.15. So therefore 15 3s are 45. So 0.45 meters. So this is my required height. Okay. So if I aim the gun at what height? At a height of 0.45 meters, then bullet goes and strikes this target, which is at a distance of 30 meters. That is my answer. Have you understood how I have done this calculation? Clear? Very simple. So for very small values, theta, sin theta, tan theta, they are numerically equal. Previously we have written one equation for equation of trajectory, no, ma? What was that equation? When body is thrown from ground. Chepandi. When body is thrown from ground, what was the equation of trajectory? So it is, for example, if body is thrown from here, okay, ma? With an initial velocity of u at an angle of theta, then body traces a parabolic path, no, ma? So equation of trajectory is given by y is equals to x tan theta minus gx square divided by 2u square cos square theta. This is the equation, no, ma? So same equation I can write in one more format also. I can write y is equals to x tan theta multiplied by 1 minus x by r also. Clear? This equation, if I can convert this one in terms of range, then this is the equation which I get. So derivation part I am not explaining. Just to remember, this is another form of equation of trajectory. Are you able to understand, ma? So what is the second equation? Chal right. Okay. So what is the second equation? Y is equals to x tan theta into 1 minus x divided by r. This is second equation. Okay, ma? Now let us try to understand how we can do problems based on this equation. So a football player, he is kicking football, ma, with what velocity? He is kicking the football with a velocity of 20 meter per second, and what at what angle? At an angle of 37 degrees with respect to horizontal. So here there is a football player who kicked this football with an initial velocity of 20 meter per second at an angle of 37 degrees with respect to horizontal. Clear, no? So at a distance of 10 meters there is a goal post. Okay, ma? So consider this is a goal post. Clear? A goal post into okay, consider this is a goal post. And what is the height of the goal post given? Height of the goal post given is 3 meters. And from the point of kicking this football, goal post is present at what distance? It is present at a distance of 10 meters. Clear, ma? Then you are supposed to calculate whether this, whether a goal will be there or not. What is meant by goal will be there or not? This ball, whether it enters into this goal or not. That is what you are supposed to calculate. Clear, ma? How can I do? Anybody? See ma, in which condition there will be a goal? For example, if this ball goes above this goal post, can I say there is a goal? There is no goal. He is a very bad player. Clear ma? Similarly, if this ball goes like this, can I say there is a goal? No. The keeper will hold this ball. Clear no ma? So the only method is this one should enter into this goal post directly. Clear ma? Then only there can be a goal. Now how can I calculate whether there will be a goal or not? How can I do? Huh? Equation of? Somebody said, equation of trajectory. So why you have to use equation of trajectory only here? See ma, here, this distance of the goal post is 10 meters, no? This is nothing but x distance, no? Clear na ma? And at this particular value of x, what should be the height of the goal post? Height of the goal post is 3. Clear na ma? So the relation between x and y, it is nothing but equation of trajectory only, no? So x ki y ki relation unna equation edi manaku equation of trajectory. So only in equation of trajectory only you will have a relation between x and y. So it means for a particular x, what is the y? Okay ma? Here what is the x value? 10 meter. At this 10 meter, you have to check the y value. So if y value is between 0 and 3, then definitely there will be a goal. Are you able to understand ma? At x value is equal to 10 meters, if y value is between 0 to 3, then there will be a goal. If y value is above 3, there is no goal. If y value is below 3, then also there is no goal. Are you able to understand? So the relation between x and y is given by only one relation. What is that relation? Y is equals to x tan theta minus gx square divided by 2u square cos square theta. This is the relation number. So this is y value and this is x value. It means at a particular x, what is the y value? If I can calculate a relation between them, then I can find out there will be a goal or not. Clear? Now substitute all the values. At x value is 10. See what is the y value. Check your answer. Come on. X value is 10. Tan 37 minus g value is 10. X value is 10 square divided by 2. Initial velocity is 20. So 2 into 20 square multiplied by cos 37. Cos 37 whole square. Okay ma? So y is equals to 10 into tan 37 value 3 by 4. Clear ma? So minus 10 into 10 into 10 divided by 2 into 400 into cos 37 value 4 by 5 whole square. Clear ma? So 2 zeros I will cancel. Okay. So 2 ones are 2 5s are, so y is equals to 2.5 into 3, 7.5 minus, so 5 into 25 divided by 60. Clear ma? So calculate this value ma. 7.5 minus 5 into 25 divided by 16. See what is the answer you will get. So therefore 7.5 minus 5 into 25 by 16, 7.80. So it is minus 0.30. So what is meant by minus 0.30? It means at a particular value of x, y value is in downwards direction, no ma? So this height is nothing but 0.30. It means ball is not entering into the goal post, ma? How ball is traveling? Ball is traveling like this and reaching here. That is called as minus 0.30, no? Clear, no ma? This is my reference. From where the ball is thrown, that is my reference. So when compared to the reference, ball is going downwards. So at a particular value of x, it is a negative displacement. Okay? It means this ball will strike the ground somewhere here only. Clear? So it cannot enter into the goal post. That is my answer. So there is no goal here. Goal is not possible. Have you understood, ma? So wherever you find a relation between x and y, then and it should be independent of time. Time should not be there. Then you can use the equation of trajectory. One of the equation of trajectory. Understood, Nama? That's it. So I will give you, okay, Seema. So 7.5 minus 1.98 approximately. So how much this is? 7.5 minus 2, 5.5. So approximately 5.52 approximately. Clear now? It means at a distance of x, what is the y value? Y value is 5.52. But what is the height of goalpost? Height of goalpost only 3 meters, but a ball is going at what height? 5.52. So will there be a goal? There will not be a goal. It means the ball is going like this. Okay, ma? So at the position of goalpost, this height will be how much? This height will be 5.52 meters. So there is no goal. That is the question. Clear, no, ma? That's done previously. Okay. So a jet of water is projected at an angle of 45 degrees at point A. A wall is present at x is equals to half meter. So here there is one vertical wall, ma. Clear? This is a wall. And what is the distance of the wall? The distance of the wall is half meter, 1/2 meter. So from here there is a water gun, so which is firing water. So it is thrown with how much velocity? Ma? Initial velocity of water is root 10 meter per second. Clear? And it is projected at what angle? At an angle of 45 degrees. Then this water goes and strikes this wall somewhere at a particular height, and that y value you are supposed to calculate. Okay? If I know y value, already x value I know, Nama. So x comma y will become the coordinates of that point. Clear? No? Coordinates means x comma y only, no? X is already there, half meter. Just you calculate y value, then the coordinates are x comma y. So again, which equation? So you can use the relation y is equals to x tan theta multiplied by 1 minus x by r. This relation also you can use. Okay? But to use this relation, first of all you have to calculate r value. First you should calculate range, no? And what is the equation for range? R is equals to u squared sine 2 theta divided by g. First of all you have to calculate this one. Then substitute here, then directly you will get the answer. Or one more equation which I can use is y is equals to x tan theta minus gx square divided by 2u square cos square theta. This relation also you can use. Two equations of range. Clear, ma? So substitute. So y is equals to x value is 1/2, tan 45 is 1, minus g value is 10, x value is again 1/2 whole square divided by 2 into initial velocity root 10. So u square is 10, cos 45 is 1/2, 1/2 whole square is 1/2. So 2 and 2, 10 and 10 get cancelled. So y is equals to 1/2 minus 1/4, it is 1/4. That's my answer. Clear, no, ma? So therefore, what are x comma y coordinates? X comma y coordinates are x is 1/2, y is equal to 1/4. These are my coordinates where water is going to strike the wall. Clear? That's very good. So a relief food package is dropped from an aeroplane which is moving horizontally with a velocity of 30 meter per second. So this is the aeroplane, ma. So it is moving horizontally with how much velocity? With a velocity of 30 meter per second. And from the ground it is present at what height? From the ground it is present at a height of 50 meters. Clear, ma? Height is equal to 50 meters. Clear? So this is a food relief aeroplane. It means in our area floods have come and everything has gone. So military is supplying food material for you. They are throwing the food packets from the aeroplane. Are you able to understand? So if they release the food packet, this is a food packet. This is looking like a bomb, man. So consider this is a food packet. Clear? Food packet is released from here. See, ma, what is the initial velocity of the aeroplane? Food packet also will have same velocity, no, initially. If I am running, then the pen in my pocket also will have same speed, no? Similarly, if aeroplane is moving with a velocity of 30, initially food packet was present inside the aeroplane. So what is the initial velocity of food packet? That is also 30 only. In which direction? In the direction of aeroplane. Are you able to understand? So immediately when you release this food packet, it will have how much velocity? It will have a velocity of 30 meter per second. In which direction? In a horizontal direction, because aeroplane was moving in horizontal direction only, no? But in vertical direction, that is in this direction, what is its velocity? So velocity, initial velocity along y-axis is not there, that is 0 meter per second. Are you able to understand? Projectile motion always you have to consider in 2 dimensions, Noma. You have to take motion along x-axis separately and you have to take motion along y-axis separately. Along x-axis initial velocity is 30. But along y-axis there is no velocity initially. It means along y-axis it is what kind of motion? Along y-axis it is what kind of motion? Freely falling body. It is a freely falling body. Freely falling body means it is thrown with an initial velocity of 0. That is called as a freely falling body. Able to understand? Okay. So therefore initial velocity 30 along x-axis, initial velocity along y-axis 0, height thrown is 50 meters. So what is the first question? Time of flight. Okay, ma? First question which we are trying to calculate is time of flight. So already we have calculated a time of flight previously, no, ma? T is equals to root 2h divided by g. In which condition? When body is thrown from top of a tower. So this is also an example of body thrown from top of a tower only, no? For that one, what is the equation of time period? Root 2h by g. Are you able to understand? If you don't remember this equation, then what you can do always, you can use the relation s is equals to ut plus half at t square. This is equation. Already in y-axis I can use this equation, no, ma? And in y-axis, is it accelerated motion or uniform motion? Accelerated motion. Acceleration motion means how many equations I have? 4 equations, so we have to use any one of the equation. Are you able to understand? So therefore, now instead of s, what I have to write? Instead of s, I have to write minus h. Because this is the point of reference, no, ma? This is my reference position. From the reference position, body is coming downwards, no? So negative height, minus h. Clear? Initial velocity. In y-axis, initial velocity 0. So this total term will become 0. Clear, no, ma? And acceleration minus g. So therefore minus a half g t square. So again I got the relation t is equals to root 2h divided by g, no, ma? Clear? Same equation I got. Now substitute here. So this is equals to root of 2 into what is the height of 50 and what is the g value? 10. So therefore it is root 10 seconds. So that is my answer for first person. Okay. So therefore this packet will reach the ground in how much time, ma? It will reach in a time of root 10 seconds. But it will not reach like this. How it will reach? It will reach like this. Are you able to understand? Clear, no, ma? Because it is having a velocity along x-axis is not 0, no? Only velocity along y-axis is 0. Okay. So packet will reach like this. It will trace a parabolic path. Clear? Second question. Which is the second question? Okay, ma? Location of point of striking the food material. It means, for example, let us consider food packet reaches here. This range I am supposed to calculate. Range. What is the equation for range in the case of body thrown from top of a tower? Range is equals to u into root 2h divided by g. This is the equation, no, ma? When body is thrown from ground, then what is the equation of range? U square sin 2 theta divided by g. But when body is thrown from top of a tower, this is the equation of range. R is equals to u into root 2h by g. So if you forget this one, what I have to do? If I forget this one, then what I have to do? Range is horizontal distance, no? In horizontal direction, motion is uniform or non-uniform? Uniform motion along x-axis. So which equation? Only one equation. Displacement is equal to velocity into time. Clear, no, ma? So displacement x. Velocity along x-axis. Velocity along x-axis 30. It is always a constant, no? So 30. Time taken. Time taken already I have calculated root 10. Okay, ma? So 30 root 10 meters is my answer. So that is the range of the projectile. Are you able to understand? Sima, along y-axis, motion is accelerated motion. So 4 equations are there. But along x-axis, uniform motion. For uniform motion, we have only one equation. Okay. Then third question. Which is the third question? Velocity of the package at the time of striking. Clear, Nama? Sima, third one. See here. At the time of striking, this particle will have two velocities, no? One velocity is along x-axis. And that velocity is always a constant. There is one more velocity along y-axis also, no? Velocity at y-axis. So therefore, what is the total resultant velocity? Root of vx square plus vy square. Because, Sima, when it is about to touch the ground, one velocity will be along x-axis, one velocity will be along y-axis. Therefore, what is the net resultant velocity? This is my net resultant velocity. If this is vy, this is also vy, no, according to parallelogram rule of addition. And this is what kind of triangle? Right angle triangle. So therefore, how can I calculate v value? It is square root of vx square plus vy square. Okay, ma? Vx value already we know. Vx value 30. Vy value how can I calculate? అంత లెంతీగా లేకుండా ఇంకొంచెం సింపుల్గా చేయలే మరి. I can use the relation v is equals to u plus 80 no, along y axis. Time already I have calculated, no? Time root 10 is already there, no? So just use this relation to find out velocity along y axis. Clear? So vy is equals to uy minus gt. Okay, ma? So final velocity along y axis vy. What is the initial velocity along y axis? 0. Acceleration is always minus g. Time taken is how much? Root 10. Clear now? So therefore velocity along y axis is minus 10 root 10 meter per second. Okay. This is the velocity along which direction? Along y axis. But along x axis already there is 30, no? So what is the total velocity? Square root of vx square plus vy square. Clear now? Substitute here and see what is the answer you will get. Come on. Sending ikkad nunchi. Okay, ma? So therefore, total velocity is equal to square root of vx square plus vy square. Vx is 30 square and vy value is how much, ma? It is 10 root 10. No need of writing minus again. So 10 root 10 whole square. Clear, no, ma? So do this calculation. That is my answer. Okay. Then he is asking third question also. What is the third question? Displacement of the food packet. Sorry, fourth question. What is the fourth question he is asking, ma? Displacement of the food packet. See, ma, food packet is released from here. So it will touch the ground like this, no? Clear, no, ma? Then what is meant by displacement? This straight line distance is called as displacement. So how can I calculate this displacement s? This value already I know, no? What is the height? Height is 50 meter. Range already I have calculated. No, what is the range? Range 30 root 10. Clear, no, ma? Then how can I calculate s value? Again use the Pythagoras theorem. Again this is a right angle triangle, no? So therefore what is the total displacement? S is equals to square root of 50 square plus 30 root 10 whole square. Okay, ma? So just do this calculation, I will get displacement. Understood, no? Very, very simple question. Just logically, if you are strong enough, okay, ma? Chachinatlu ingosari vinandi. See, ma, from top of a tower of height 400 meters, we are throwing a body at a speed of 100 meters per second at an angle of 53 degrees, 100 meters per second. We are splitting into two components, one is 60, another one is 80. What is 60? This is the velocity along x-axis, this is the velocity along y-axis. These are the three values we are supposed to find out. First time I am taking time of flight. Clear? Chustara ela cover chestaru. So now I have to calculate s is equal to ut plus half at square. See, this is the equation which I can use only along y-axis only, no? Because along y-axis only motion is accelerated motion. Along x-axis if you take, it is uniform motion. I cannot use this relation. Clear, no, ma? So therefore it is thrown from here, no? And what is the vertical height? Vertical velocity is how much? 80. 80 meters per second only, no, in y direction. So s value is how much? S value? Minus 400. Height చెప్పండి అంటే velocity చెప్తారు ఎవరు గురు? See, ma, this is the point from which this is the point of reference, no? Point of reference. So from the reference, body is finally coming downwards, no, ma? Finally it is coming downwards. So negative height. So what is the negative height? 400. So it is minus 400. Initial velocity along y-axis. 100. మీ కాలు చూపిస్తే బుక్కుతా నేను ఒకసారి. So 100 is the total velocity. I am not concerned about that velocity. I am concerned only about vertical velocity only. Initial velocity is 80. Plus 80 or minus 80? Plus 80. Why plus 80? Because it is above the reference. 80. Time taken? అదేనా నాకు కావాల్సింది. Half. Acceleration? G. Minus is present here. So 10. Time taken is t square. Clear, Nama? So therefore, if I do this calculation, so minus 400 is equals to 80t minus 5t squared. So I can divide everything by 5 nama. So minus 80 is equals to 16 5s are 80 nama. So 16t minus t squared. Clear? So therefore, t square minus 16t minus 80 is equal to 0. Clear? ఎక్కడ ఎందుకు వస్తుంది ప్లస్
80 కి ప్లస్ వస్తుంది.
ఎందుకు వస్తుందిరా ప్లస్ ఈ 80 ఇక్కడే ఉంది 80 is present at the same position only these two values I am taking to this side. Clear nama? Now see ma if there are any possible roots for minus 80t square, minus 80t square, if there are any roots, 16 5s are 80, 20 24s are we will get, no? Yes, I can write it as minus 20t 4t. I can write like this, no? So if you add both of them, you will get minus 16, and if you multiply both of them, you will get minus 80t square. Clear, no? So therefore, the possible root factors are minus 20 and 40. Substitute here. So therefore, t square minus instead of minus 16, I will write minus 20 plus 4t minus 80 is equal to 0. Clear, no? So t I will take common out of these two, then I will get t minus 20, and here 4 I will take common, then again I will get t minus 20 is equal to 0. Clear now? So therefore t minus 20 if I take common, then I am left with t plus 4, okay, is equal to 0. So therefore t is equal to 20 is possible, t is equal to minus 4 is also possible. So negative time not possible, so positive time I will take. So therefore, what is the time of flight? 20 seconds. Have you understood? Root 2?
2h by g.
Root 2h by g you cannot use. Then you have to take this velocity. This velocity you have to take. Horizontal velocity. Are you able to understand? No? We have taken which velocity? We have taken vertical velocity. No? Clear, no? Vertical velocity means definitely this is the equation which I have to use, because in vertical direction motion is what kind of motion? Non-uniform motion. Non-uniform motion means 4 equations. Any one of the equation we have to use. Fine? That's it. So therefore t is equal to 20 seconds. One answer I got. Now similarly do the range. Range how can I calculate? Range how can I calculate? First of all, so what is the second question he is asking? Range of the projectile. Time of flight already I have calculated, no ma? Time of flight is 20. And what is the horizontal velocity? Horizontal velocity is 60. Okay, ma? So when body is thrown horizontally, and if time of flight is there, already we have equation to calculate horizontal distance. No? Clear, no ma? So therefore range how can I calculate? So second one is range. So range is nothing but displacement is equal to velocity into time number along x-axis. Motion is what kind of motion? Uniform motion. For uniform motion only one equation. So therefore range is equals to what is the velocity along x-axis? 60. And what is the time of flight? Time of flight is 20. So 6 2s are 12. 1200 meters will be the range of this body. Okay. Next, third one. Third one, velocity of striking the ground. Okay, ma? See ma, when I strike this body, this will come and fall like this, no? Clear, no ma? So at this position, it will have two velocities. It will have velocity along x-axis also, velocity along y-axis also. Velocity along x-axis is always a constant, no? Are you able to understand, ma? Which one we are doing? Third one, velocity. Clear? So let us consider body comes and strikes the ground like this. This is the total velocity. Then this velocity will have two components, no? Velocity along x-axis, velocity along y-axis. Are you able to understand? So what is the total velocity? V is equal to square root of Vx square plus Vy square. What is the velocity along x-axis? 60. Velocity along y-axis? That I have to calculate. Clear, no? Velocity along y-axis we don't have, no ma? Okay. So which equation I can use? I can use the relation V is equals to U plus AT. I can use this relation, no, along y-axis. So final velocity, velocity along y-axis. What is the initial velocity along y-axis? 80. Initial velocity along y-axis is 80. So minus 80, not minus 80, plus 80 only, because it is thrown upwards, no, 80. And what is acceleration? Minus g, minus 10. And what is the time taken? 20. Clear, Nama? So therefore, Vy is equals to 200 minus 80 minus 120, minus 120 meter per second. Minus indicates that body is going downwards. Clear, Nama? So therefore, what is my total velocity? V is equal to square root of Vx square. What is the velocity along x-axis? 60. This is always a constant, Nama? Velocity along x-axis will never change. Already we studied, no? So therefore, 60 squared plus velocity along y-axis is 120 whole square. So just do this calculation. That will be the total velocity with which it strikes the ground. Clear, ma? Similarly, you can calculate angle also. Angle at which it will strike the ground. For example, it is striking the ground at an angle of beta. Okay, ma? It is striking the ground at an angle of beta. Then beta value also you can calculate. No? How can I calculate a beta value? Just to take a tan beta. Opposite by adjacent, no, ma? Opposite is Vy. Adjacent is Vx. Vy value 120. Vx value 60. So 2. So therefore, beta is equals to tan inverse of 2. So this is the angle at which a particle is going to strike the ground. Angle also we can calculate. Are you able to understand? That's it.